Hello, you listen to Who Agrees with me, Paul Black.
And me, Kendra McPherson.
And as always, thank you to our wonderful sponsor, Iola. I must say, Kendra, you've still got the Merlot Fergusons atop your nose.
Keeping this MF fangs on me.
They're very nice.
Yeah, I'm loving them.
I think they're Christmassy, actually.
They very much are.
I think it's Christmas time, Merlot Fergusons.
And wine.
Nice.
Does
that work? I don't know if that
Children going to Iola.
Yeah. Do they do children's specs? We'll need to find out.
Oh, patent that idea and fast.
I don't think it's an idea that hasn't been done selling children's specs.
I do think these are Christmassy, but not so Christmassy that I couldn't wear them at other points of the year. I just think that they're bringing that nice warmth to the changing season that I want for my accessories.
Yeah, sure, autumnal frames.
Very autumnal, very cosy.
Well, I think that mine's are also, anything can be Christmassy or autumnal if you want it to be. I'm thinking mine's are curled up by the fire with a nice spec.
Yes.
I love to curl up next to the fire with a nice pair of specs.
So the hell
Who
do
doesn't? Who doesn't? Pack up scampi fries.
And a nice pair of specs.
Oh, yeah. I could see this Iola scampi fries collab. You know, scampi fries has a very distinct
vibrant
colour. Yeah,
branding.
it's like a neon yellow on their packaging.
And scampi fries.
See if that was the Scampi Fry Ferguson. I think that would be really nice. I think you would get an arty person wanting that.
I would have them on even more than I already do if that were the case.
Scampi Fry specs. Just before we start the episode, guys, I wanted to let you know that I'm going on tour next year in May and June 2026. You can come and see my brand new stand-up show, Cash Cow, which will be incredible and amazing and all the good things. Please come and see it. It's definitely coming to a city near you. It's coming to Dundee, London, Aberdeen, Belfast, Dublin, Newcastle, Manchester, Dumfries and Perth. And there will be more dates announced soon later in this year. So please go and buy a ticket or tell someone you know that lives in one of these places that they should come. There's a link in my bio on my Instagram. Thank you very much. Enjoy the episode.
So both you and I and the whole entire world, it seems, know that we just celebrated the finale of The Traitors.
Yes.
And it was quite a TV moment, I think. We all knew it would be, but it really was very much so.
I'm going to play the Traitors advocate. I'm going to play Claudia's advocate here. I just think not enough up for steak. Up for steak.
Not enough. But the stakes weren't high enough.
Why can't I speak? The stakes were not high enough for the celebrity version. I just don't think it works. I think civilian is the way.
I prefer the civilian one. I definitely prefer the civilian one purely because I really like learning about and moving with the characters of people that you have no pre-knowledge of, and there's no ideas about them before they go in, and they're not playing to archetypes straight away. Yep. Whereas obviously with celebrities, they're all to some point playing a character. They're playing up or like playing along.
You know who they are already.
Exactly. So I totally get what you're saying.
Purely financially, there's not the same thing up for stake. Yeah. This is for charity, which obviously people care about and want to make money for. But it's not the same as someone that's like, I really want to have this life-changing amount of money.
Yeah, true.
So therefore, I don't believe it as much.
It's interesting because I don't think that element of it particularly affected the energy behind the gameplay. It still felt like everybody was to me, I felt like everybody was invested in it and engaged with it, and it felt like they really truly cared about it for the most part anyway. But you still know though, like you as the audience know that the difference between the civilian one and how their lives could be changed and how transformative that would be isn't obviously the same for the celebrity one. But I think the celebrity one is good fun because of their characters.
I thought too short, and also it felt like, did you not feel like it was like, oh, suddenly we're at the end? Like it is obviously shorter than the normal one, and it was only on twice a week instead of 3 times a week. And then this week it was just on once, and they made us wait till Thursday. Minge, teasing bastards.
Yeah, very
I was
much
raging.
so.
I had everything ready for Wednesday, and then you told me it wasn't going to be on. I was
sad.
gutted. But I thought like it suddenly just felt like it was at the end. I know the civilian one has like 5 more contestants or something, doesn't it? Something like that. And so it draws it out a wee bit more. But I think why it felt that way for me was that they didn't get a traitor out till nearly the very end, and that was the only time they got to experience that. There was no recruitments for the first time.
I was going to say,
it just felt like start finish to me. Like there was no like. There wasn't any twists. There was nothing. And I love Alan Carr, so getting to see Alan Carr regularly was good.
I thought
and obviously, spoilers, Alan Carr winning it is the
I was
the best bit.
I was really shocked. And like, I think, you know what I would measure it on, like, obviously television like that wants to get that reaction from people sitting on their couches where they're like, oh my God, oh, that's so sad. Or like, oh, I can't believe that, shocked, blah, blah, blah. It elicited all of those things at the final few scenes, so it did what it was supposed to do.
True.
And I really actually did not expect Alan Carr to have that emotional response. I thought he was going to laugh and be like, oh, I'm so sorry, and do the kind of tongue-in-cheek thing that he'd been doing throughout. I really did not expect that level of reaction, but it made a lot of sense because to me, it didn't look like he was struggling through that process. Like he was very humorous about it. But I think when he had the support of Kat, I think he felt a little bit more, you know, like it was a bit of a laugh and it was quite lighthearted and stuff. They were in it together. Then when he was by himself, and I think when David and Nick both just said how much they trusted him, even though you know you're on a TV show and it's a game, you still probably would feel a bit like, I've been really duplicitous this whole time. These people are really taken in by me, and all I've really been is myself. People kept saying, oh, he's just been himself, like he's so great, blah blah blah. So you'd be like, oh, maybe actually I am a bit evil because everyone thinks I'm being so great and I'm just being myself, but I'm lying all the time.
I think you can tell that it's obviously a pressure you would only understand if you're there.
Yeah.
Like that's 100% what it must be, because even in the normal version, sometimes you see some reactions and you're like, why are you fucking crying? Why are you so like...
Yeah.
And I'm a crier. I could cry if I'm like really in that type of environment. Me when I'm used to being in the environment of being in a round table in a castle with Claudia Winkman. But no, like I understand it, but sometimes it must just feel really intense. And if people are constantly accusing you, especially when you haven't done anything, it must feel like you're going mad. But I think with the Alan Carr thing, him just breaking down at the end was so funny because there was so little. There was no time for them to even be like, "You bastard!"
No, I know they had to immediately comfort
him immediately, which then again would not have happened in the civilian one. Of course, it wouldn't have.
True,
that would never have happened.
Yeah,
like it would be like, "Oh my God, you fucking bastard!"
Yeah,
but this, because it doesn't really matter because it's all for charity.
But then I suppose
takes away that bit. But it was a nice ending, especially when they all turned on that man, the smarmy man.
Joe.
Yeah.
But I must admit,
I love that.
Joe was doing my tits in, and me and Lorenzo were actually speaking about this earlier. Like his kind of aggro long stare thing, not a vibe.
No,
not a vibe.
Hate, and also I just thought, my first thought was like, imagine, I don't know if he's got a missus, but I was like, imagine being his missus, having to deal with his patter all the time.
I thought that I was really, I genuinely was surprised when Nick, who I love,
I can't stand
flipped
Nick.
the switch. Really? No, I love him.
No,
what don't you like about him?
Oh, it's just, there's something.
No, I think he's really calm and chill and like just miniature, and I like that.
I like David.
No, I can't be fucked with David.
Oh,
me and Lorenzo.
I'm literally on the antagonist fucking, what is it called? Every person I've spoken to in the last week, I've had a different opinion on something. I genuinely do. Obviously, that's a me issue.
Is this? No, it's not. It's not an issue at all. I don't dislike David. I just found his whole shtick really like, fuck me,
it
man.
It just made me think.
Dusting off those
Professor
boots.
Brian Cox.
Yeah.
Every week,
man.
Every week he had to talk about how Stephen Fry is a genius. So if you could be a brilliant trader.
I think you're a genius. I think you're doing a great job.
He was just a bit like, crack a smile, love. Do you know what I mean? He was taking it. No, but do you know what I kind of loved about him? He was taking it so seriously, but it was actually really shit. And what I thought was funny was Kate Garraway was getting such flack for being so ditzy and what apparently and what not. But actually, David wasn't far off in terms of being shite. He was just delivering his theories in a more earnest way and putting them forward more. Kate was honest and was just like, I actually don't know.
Well, and also with Tom, is it called Tom? It's about Tom. The one I just said. The rugby man.
Joe.
He... Yeah,
all English men are called Tom, Joe and Sam.
That's
the rules.
But Joe, I feel like we didn't get enough of other Joe. Do you not feel like
I
it felt like
really
we lost
liked
like
other
6
Joe.
people at once? It felt that way. I know the Traitors can feel that way sometimes because you can lose 2 people in an episode, but that it genuinely felt like
they were
everyone was gone.
like so rapidly.
Celia.
I know, loved
Where's
Celia.
she?
Celia's
She's
my
gone.
fart.
Useless as well at the same time.
No, she farted and everything, and she screamed
I
in the
literally
well.
wrote in our group chat last night. I went, overall, I think I was disappointed with the series. No big wow moments apart from Celia's fart.
No, and you're forgetting when Celia sang down the well.
Oh yeah,
The visual on that, the POV
that
was so
it.
hilarious.
And they were both hard moments. And
If
Alan's
Palome
best
had
bits.
been kept in, we would have got more from
I
Palome.
think we lost
Palome and Alan would have been
good
great.
people that I wish stayed longer because Joe or Tom or whatever he's called, Joe, not the comedian Joe, Rugby Joe.
Rugby Joe.
He actually, apart from the Cat and Alan thing at the end, right, and maybe he was right about Jonathan.
He was.
Okay. Well, there was times where he was very aggressively wrong, and that always pisses me off.
He came on to a winner towards the end.
But remember when he just went, and it's because I know it's Mark. I was like, no, you don't actually, because you don't know.
He did
anything.
come on to a winner at the end, to be fair.
He did.
But
But he said as well, he's like, when he was like, I was backstabbed, he said, I had no idea anyone would think me. And I was like, of course you don't, because you're just thinking about you. You're thinking you're right.
Thinking about your little George.
Yeah.
I
Your
was
hat.
genuinely really shocked when Nick flipped the switch at the end, because I really, really bought into them as a Joe, and I do genuinely think that he really, really trusted Joe, but I think Joe fucked it for himself with being so aggro and intense. I think Nick then started to be a bit like, now hang on, you're really giving it your all here. If I got pulled into that, I should kind of double bluff myself almost and be like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. And then obviously he went the other way and fucked Joe over. That was quite a shocking moment. I thought that was a good jaw dropping. Jaw dropping.
Jaw dropping. A glass of Shiraz. I miss Linda.
Of course.
Who the hell is going to come through that door? That was my
She was
favourite moment
so
in history.
good. But you know what I thought was really weird last night? So I switched it on a wee bit short of it starting, and they were doing the most bizarre thing. It was like BBC News.
Race across the world. Oh no.
No, BBC News branded show before Countdown to the Traitors, when it was just like random, no shade at all, people I have never seen in my life presenting a kind of round table discussion where people were texting in and, you know, doing all that jazz that you do on the telly. But I didn't recognise any of the people that were doing it. Maybe that's my issue. And then they would cut to like random pubs around England, and like people would be there dressed in like cloaks and have lanterns, and it was just one of the most uncomfortable, weird setups. I was like, this is actually an incredibly reputable, popular, slick program, and this feels very DIY. I was so confused by it.
That's strange, because I had that on before, and I was getting Roman Kemp running about like, I don't know, El Salvador or something.
Oh, Celebrity Race Across the World. I need to watch that. But no, when I watched
Guatemala,
it
it was Ronan Kemp in
live,
Guatemala.
I watched it on live BBC iPlayer. That's what was on before it.
So did I?
That's weird.
Did you not see Ronan Kemp and the Guy Fieri girls?
No, literally moments
Guatemala?
before. That's what was on when I watched it. So I'm not sure what was going on.
Must have missed it.
But it was just, it was honestly so bizarre.
God, can we please do Race Across the World? It's my dream.
Actually
my dream.
I would
Patreon Race Across
genuinely
the World.
love to do it, but I would be so awful at it.
But you don't know, because like it's
Jotting
not about
maps,
having.
Paul.
But it's not about having that knowledge.
But
Really.
you need to read a map. You're not like
I
a phone.
can't read the map, but I know I have the map in my head.
I would ask loads
the
of
world.
questions. Like, the thing that would get me through Race Across the World would be just going up and asking people. I would literally
I
just
know
like,
what would
can you
get
please tell me?
Through Race Across the World.
They would hold me back and propel me forward in different ways.
That was a wee joke we have. I wouldn't really say that to a woman.
For audio listeners, what were you doing now?
I was circling Kendra's beautiful face.
Faces. No,
Yeah.
I would love to do. I actually love that program, and I would love it for the camaraderie of it and the seeing all those different places, and you would get such a sense of accomplishment from it. But I just don't know how I would do it other than genuinely asking everybody I saw, how do I get there?
Yeah, but that's the point.
I know, but then I think that they use maps and all that, and they're
You could
always
do it.
reading maps and stuff.
Stop having limiting beliefs.
I would need City Mapper.
You can't have that.
But I would love to go and do, you know, like when they go and stay like with a family and then they like have a meal with them, or they do like an activity that's like relevant to their region and stuff.
I like that, but I'm always like, you ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
I know.
I was like, get
How
on
do
the
they
move.
factor that in?
You sitting down for? I think what that means, what we need is some sort of wife swap. World's strictest parents.
I would
That's what
like
we
to
need.
do a life swap program.
That's my dream, cultural exchange.
Yeah.
All I ever want. I just want someone to say, come live in my alpaca ranch in Mexico City.
I would love to go and just
I
man
would
an
go
alpaca
anywhere
ranch.
to have a cultural experience. Like literally, all I think about, I look into things constantly that are like any sort of opportunity that allows you to be in a different country. I'd be fucking it to be in a different country. Like genuinely, if someone
A
was
lot
like,
of that's quite youth skewed, isn't it? Because I feel like there's so much more like natural opportunities when you're in like school and stuff to do exchange, or like uni, you could go and do like Erasmus and shit, whereas when you're older it feels a bit, no, not at all, but it feels a bit more like if you're going there you're going to work. Do you know what I mean? It's less like, or
even
it's like,
there was
I'm
work
going travelling, you need to have saved up all this money from working before you go. Like it feels less.
There's no way to just like, see, when I was in school, I genuinely was part of this thing, I can't remember if we spoke about it before, called Comenius, where they literally took us fully for free, did not pay a single penny, nothing, to 2 different countries where we lived there and went to school there and got all our food
How
paid
long did
for.
you go for?
So we went for 2 weeks to Italy and 2 weeks to Germany.
That's good.
And it was like, all for free, and then they came here.
I
I kept thinking
managed
it was
to do
shite
that.
for them. You done that as well?
I went to Trondheim in Norway, for
Was
free.
it the same project? Was it Comenius?
No, it was a youth politics group. I can't actually remember the name of it, but we basically went to do an exchange with another group of like youths in Trondheim, which is a twin town of Dunfermline.
yeah.
So it was like a town
And did
exchange.
you pay in?
No, nothing.
See, why can't we have that as an adult? I know every cunt wants
I
that.
actually remember I was quite excited. I felt like it was quite a formative time for me because I just went on the birth control pill for the first time, and I remember feeling all chuffed with myself when I went through security because I thought they might search my bag and they might see I'm on the pill, and everyone here will know I'm having sex.
So what age?
16.
Scandalous.
13. I'm joking.
We're getting laddie this podcast. But I want more cultural exchange like race across the world. I just want to go to a different country. But you know what I've been thinking about doing? Maybe I shouldn't say this because then I might get found out. But I think I need to get into some sort of religion for travel reasons.
No, that's going into it with the wrong intention.
No, but if
everything's
it's a bad,
about intention. You need to flip this. So if I want to travel.
No, I want to travel.
You want to travel, right? So you're not going to get into a religion so you can travel. You would say, my goal and my intention is to travel. What can get me there? What can help me along the process? No, but saying I'm going to get into religion so I can travel feels manipulative.
No. Because I did exactly what you just said I should do, and it got me to the answer. what I was going to get, which is a religion. See, one of my aunties told me she went to America, Mexico for being in a church, and they just went to go and, I don't know, indoctrinate other people. They're a pilgrimage. What
you go to spread the word, don't you?
Aye, a mission. They were on a mission. My dad fucking went to Romania in like the 80s on a mission.
Yeah, I have heard that happens quite often.
I want to go on a mission, and then when I get there I'll go, oh no, I want to travel, and I'll leave them behind. I'll stay at the ranch and eat food, and then when they ask me like about God and I have to pretend that I'm not gay, I will do that.
You have a hard time pretending. You'll be on that ranch.
Not when I'm in a different country. They don't know if this voice is gay or not. I could be German.
It's not just the voice.
Well, what else? They're saying I'm mincing around my ranch in Mexico.
You just took the words.
They don't know. Trust me, you'd be surprised. People don't know in different countries.
That's like when our friend said that she was so hungover one day in Spain that like when you're just not that sharp with what you're doing when you're hungover, and she farted, and she like aloud in the supermarket, and she thought, oh, like nobody here will understand it because they don't speak English, and she farted, and then she realised that obviously fart sounds. I'll tell you, fart sounds are universally understood. That's given
so
that
funny.
They don't know what it looks like to be gay in other countries.
They don't. They have a different type of gay. But anyway, do you know what? I think the end goal, what could really maybe happen one day, travel log show. Someone
would
puts
love
me on
that.
some sort of fucking comedian do this. But they've all done it already.
There needs to be a new twist on that, I
But
think.
they won't. But mine's was go to every Pride parade across the world. No. But then Elliot Page back in the day had a Vice. Was Vice a TV channel?
It was like a media thing.
Aye, they posted like long form stuff though
They
online.
did have.
Didn't
I think they did have a
I'm
TV
sure
channel.
it was Vice that hosted this, but Elliot Page did a thing called, it was like Queer Holiday. It had a better name than that. Queercation or something.
Nice.
Gaycation. Fuck's sake. Got it then.
Queercation also good.
Gaycation, and it was Elliot Page and someone else who was also queer going like to different countries of the world and just basically experience that as a queer person. Like, damn, my dream.
Yeah.
You need to find your niche. Someone, I just want to go abroad, but not even like, I'm not just being like I want a free holiday, because obviously everyone in the world wants a free holiday, but I long for an experience abroad. So let's find them.
Yeah, they're definitely there to be found.
Speaking of world views, what do we think about the cruel Sydney Sweeney?
Yeah, I'm like creeped out a bit.
I'm creeped out. If you don't know, when was this? Of like last year? No, this year. Not that long ago actually. Sydney Sweeney did a jeans ad
for American Eagle.
American Eagle, but the wording of the ad, which obviously isn't her, but she did say it and do it.
She was the face of it.
She was the face of it. The wording in the ad was all about your genes, but it was like talking about genetics and like having blue eyes and blonde hair. Or
such a, again, one of those classic like examples of how many people at many different levels did that go through improvement wise, and then that's what sometimes makes you think they obviously do know what they're doing, because somebody in the chain there of command must have been like, do you think that maybe puts forward that it's all about messaging? The whole thing is about messaging. That's what branding is, exactly. So I don't believe that was a slip up.
And also, it's the classic any publicity is good publicity. So that, like, to be honest, I've not particularly thought about American Eagle often in my life, and I did think about it a lot that time. So I guess it works.
Yeah.
So obviously, flash forward, however many months, Sydney Sweeney's now promoting her new film, which is like the most classic Oscar bait film ever. It's where she is playing a real person who was a famous boxer, female boxer.
I actually didn't know about that female boxer.
I didn't either. So again,
the trailer looks kind of good actually.
To me, there's too much of an obvious wig, but
it's a very obvious wig. Agree.
Austin Powers, but like she's what's it called, Jan or something?
I can't remember.
Sadie.
What can we get a name for that?
Sydney Sweeney biopic. Jean.
Christy.
Got
so
it.
She's in Christy.
You're so right. The Austin Powers.
Yeah, she's got an Austin Powers wig on and Troy Bolton shorts. Anyway, it's the most like, this is a biopic. Somebody's slightly transformed their appearance, they're going to get nominated for an Oscar.
Well, transformed her appearance, she's probably 10 stone.
I know.
Like unless I just saw really good angles
Max.
in that, and she didn't look as jassified basically.
And this woman is a queer woman, which I find interesting because I guess with the press tour, there's maybe questions about, or I imagine there's a part of this film or story that's about that being her experience in her life. And Sydney Sweeney being the face for that is funny to me, considering in light of recent things. Basically, the whole thing about jeans, she did an interview for this film and someone asked her, she basically gave her an opportunity to talk about all that controversy, and said to her, like, I guess the take was that maybe white people shouldn't joke about white supremacy. What do you think about that? And Sydney Sweeney had the most media-trained answer in history, where she said a whole lot of nothing, but actually a lot. Her exact answer was, when there's a cause that I care about, you'd know. And that was it. And I was like, what? So you've been given an opportunity to shut this down, and you chose to say that. I don't think that she wants to. No, she doesn't. She doesn't care. And also, do you know what I mean? She obviously doesn't want to. Puts into my theory that someone is saying to her, the MAGAs need their celebrity. There's half of the US is people that love shit like that. So she probably feels like, obviously I know that there's been a lot of chat about her family being Republicans MAGAs, and stuff, but like she probably feels like there's probably an element of whoever is briefing her or managing her or like
maybe she herself feels that there is a big majority in America that she doesn't need to apologise to.
Yeah.
So she's maybe like, I don't really want to make myself look or appear guilty here because I don't actually believe that this has got anything to do with me or I did anything wrong.
And in one hand, like,
because you start saying sorry, then you're wrong.
Yeah, that
and
makes
a lot of people don't want to be wrong.
And she did say, I made a jeans ad. I sold loads of jeans.
She's being as cut and dry about it as possible when it's not a cut and dry issue. But if you want to make it simple for your own gain, then make it simple, and that's what she's done. Like,
well, I like the Amy Lou Wood, the Dawn Diva who I love.
That was so funny.
She's such a legend. She just commented on this video with a sick emoji,
like
sick
so
face
funny.
emoji. And I'm like, I love when celebrities don't give a goddamn.
Yeah.
Do you know who's been doing it? Boots, Marsha Cross.
Oh, I've not seen that.
Brie Vanderpump. What's Brie called?
It also sounded like you were going to call her Vandercunt at one point.
Brie Vanderpump. She's been commenting on every celebrity's things, basically, if she thinks they're a Zionist, and going, this isn't true. She's putting it out there.
But you know what, right? Like, it's such a obvious thing to say, but like, people have a platform. Like, they literally have reach in the truest sense of the word. Like, they can get their message or their opinion across to so many people. So like, it does feel incredibly wasteful when people don't use that to be
I
like, this is what I think.
I admire them so much when they do it. I really do. And I was loving her ass. And I know that way when you're like, I knew you were a legend.
But I'm just like I mean, I wouldn't say that I was ever rooting for Sydney Sweeney. I mean, I don't think I've ever particularly cared, but I think I was, it's just, you know what it is? It's just kind of spooky. Like, I feel always spooked out when I see like a young person, right? Like a young person, as any young person who has the ability to live a joyful life without evil and chooses not to do that. But even more so when it's a young person who is famous, who has so many opportunities at their fingertips, who could like make such a difference to themselves and others and just have a good life and still choose to be horrible.
Yeah.
I find that really weird. I'm like, surely most horrible traits in people or thoughts are molded from having negative experiences, or, you know what I mean? Like, but she's kind of got it all sitting there allegedly. So why are you being a cow?
Speaking of, we're very celeb focused today, but did you see that, because in our last episode we obviously spoke about David Harbour, who's very much experiencing being at the centre of a shitstorm, as they say right now, with Lily Allen's new album. He obviously is right in time for him to promote Stranger Things. Wonder if it was a strategic move? I don't know, but there was some rumours that Millie Bobby Brown had came out and said some things about, like, she was filing some sort of complaint against where he'd bullied her or something.
Well, I think it was, when I read about it, it was in retrospect. So I think which I thought the timing of that was interesting, because when I read an article about it, it basically said that either before the filming of the most recent series that's due to come out, she had filed some complaints about him for bullying and harassment, but it was before the filming commenced. So I don't know if that's been ongoing at that point, squashed, and then has now came out for whatever reason, and from whoever at this point, because it isn't current. It was in retrospect, so I'm interested in why that's came out.
Well, last night they were seen together at a Stranger Things premiere at LA. Like, they had like such a obvious like orchestrated moment of being
United
like,
Front vibes.
Oh my god, hi, hugging, taking photos, laughing, being like, oh, and then literally releasing statements about each other. Even hard even saying, I just love David, having him here as a constant, doing this together all the time's amazing, blah blah, all this stuff. So they were obviously like, we need to squash this right away.
Millie Bobby Brown must condemn.
Yeah, she's a West End girl. She should know
what she needs to condemn. But
she turned her back on this country.
Like, what the hell? But see, at the same time,
what's the truth about her? I don't know.
She's a wee lassie.
Is she still like 13?
No, she's like fully fledged. She's married.
Am I going mental? Did she not adopt a baby this
She's
summer?
married.
Oh, she's married to a Rothschild or something?
No, she's married to John Bon Jovi's son.
Yes.
But they adopted a baby, I think.
Shut up.
Aye.
She's not 11 anymore, honestly. She's really like...
She's 21.
Can you do something for me?
She's 79.
And they adopted a baby on August 21st.
And that baby's name? Merlot Ferguson. Bobby Brown. Bon Jovi. Sorry, I just thought about their joint second name.
I know.
Bobby Brown Bon Jovi.
Yes.
His second name is Bon Jovi. That's Bon Jovi's
That's the
second
real name.
Oh.
Bon Jovi.
And the real Bon Jovi, is he actually called John Bon Jovi?
I think so.
Gina
Well, no, John Bon Jovi's
day.
called John Bon Jovi.
Wow.
Oh.
And do you know this is my favourite Bon Jovi song? Always.
Always.
I'll be there till the sun.
Oh,
And do you know why I love it? And do you know what? As like a child, I used to watch routinely on YouTube. Ruth Lorenzo, X Factor,
Yes.
always cover. I know you would remember
Yes.
Lorenzo. I'm not
Very
surprised.
good.
Do you remember they used to do a thing at X Factor? It was if you were in like maybe like the final 5 or 6, like not the final, but maybe the few weeks leading up. If you got eliminated, you got a chance to do a final song. And Lorenzo had been eliminated. She had nothing left to lose. She put her life in the line, gave everything into her performance of Always by Bon Jovi. And to a child me, that was amazing.
Yeah, quite moving, I would say.
And then she represented Spain on Eurovision many years later.
And it paid off, clearly.
I ain't forget.
Exactly. I feel like I feel a bit reticent to say that Millie Bobby Brown must condemn, even though it rolls off the tongue really well.
Oh, it does.
Because I feel like we probably shouldn't ask for a 21-year-old girl to apologise or justify or denounce the actions of a grown man. But their dynamic, it's hard to not focus on because you're like, she be new.
But
She must have been new about something or his vibe. But then again, people are different in different spaces with different people.
And then it's like, it goes into the same thing. Obviously, what he did was bad.
But it was
like,
within the context of a
exist in a
marriage.
context.
Yeah, exactly. You just fell out that coconut tree, David Harbour.
I miss Kamala's promo run. See, when
junket.
people have got like, when politicians have like a run at just obviously having to get like secure the presidency and that so many things happen that are so funny. Like there's just so much opportunity for ridiculous
There's a
things
lot.
to happen. And that's why it's all a circus.
I saw a meme the other day and I was
Love
like, that's
memes.
not even funny, but it was just a picture of Joe Biden side on and it just said, what? Question mark.
That's funny. See what I mean?
Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe.
Crooked Hillary and Sleepy Joe.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. But I am interested to see.
Dick Cheney dead.
Oh yeah, so he is.
Sorry, out of nowhere.
So he is dead. Dead as a dodo. I'm interested to see how this press junket goes for Div Harbour. I want him to say something. That's what I want. I don't know what I want him to say, but I want him to say
getting
something.
Lily Allen tickets this morning. There was 8,000 people in the queue.
I don't think I saw anyone that got them.
8,000 people in the queue for a 2,000-seater venue in Glasgow.
Yeah, I don't actually know anybody that got a ticket.
And now we're not here. We're
Andrew-
not in New York.
Also, I want to know about because I find co-parenting and stuff really interesting, but co-parenting in this sphere of like all this noise going around and it's like a global thing now. How are they working that around the Waynes? Because he was a very...
They're not his kids.
I know, but then I saw there was some spec. I know he's a stepdad, but it seemed like he was a pretty active stepdad. Like, and it was years that they were in that marriage, so you would see that as a father figure to some extent. But I'm someone we know said someone that she knew the other week saw David Harbour in Disneyland Paris with the Waynes. No,
Was that
Disneyland
not a
Florida
thing?
with the Waynes.
I think that was someone else said that.
So, and that was literally like the day after the album got released.
Hopefully she's like, you're fucking taking the Waynes to Disneyland.
Yeah.
You got to think about what you've done the full time.
But I think that, like, how do you, like, I find it again really interesting, like, how do you shield or share this type of information with children who have access to the internet? Because I always
And
thought
they're
that was
teenagers, aren't they?
interesting with Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, because she was like, I don't let them have access to that. They won't know about that. They won't hear it, which I suppose is probably more doable at that level of fame or money or help or whatever you have. But I'm like, well, how much do the children know? I don't know why I'm interested in that, because it's like, why shouldn't they know? But she says in the album that she lied to the children and said it was mutual. So now it'll come out that it wasn't. They must hear something. I'm just so interested about all the intricacies of it on a domestic level. I find it really interesting.
Because you can't shield them from it forever.
Exactly. So I just think, like, how do you play that out? It's quite complicated.
Do you know what I read the other day, which I've never really thought of? Someone said, like, type of kind of grief that nobody speaks about, or they find it hard to find anything to relate to, is the grief of being an active like step parent to children and then splitting up for their parents. So, and mostly women, obviously, who have been a step mum to kids and they've been really involved in their life and then split up, and then they have no kind of like actual.
Well, you've no legal stake in
so
that.
They're like, oh, and it's like this person's like, I feel so much grief for all these. Like, I had 3 step kids and I can't really. It's inappropriate for me to be in their lives now, and I like. They were like, but I was so close to them, and now I feel like I'm watching my ex like move on with their life or something. And I was like, whoa, never thought of that.
Because I suppose it would be a case of like, if you and the couple could come to an agreement where you are still, like, as a step parent, you are still in their lives, but it has to be like a amicable setup, or otherwise you could just disappear. But how would you feel? I always think this is interesting for like people our age. Like, obviously we're both in relationships, right? But say like before we got into these relationships, or like
you're going to say the dog.
No. Hypothetically, like if you met someone and they had a child, would you feel comfortable taking on that role?
Hell nah. I'm just not like, me and kids aren't like I'm not fun for them.
I get what you mean.
Because I don't have the energy.
Yeah. It's a difference in energy.
An adult.
Like a good adult.
A good adult to be hanging about with.
Sit down with a good adult.
I say to my sister all the time, I'm like, those children will respect me when they're teenagers.
But you know what? That's actually a really good point, because people have different relationships with people at different points of their life, or, you know, are more useful to each other. And you might have a stronger bond when they can have a different type of relationship with you. But I just mean in terms of like, you could meet someone and they could have a stepchild of any age. It doesn't need to be, you know what I mean? Like if you went with someone slightly older, we're now at a point now where people could have kids. That's crazy, but they could. And I just wonder how I would feel about that if I met someone and they had a child.
In fact, we've been at that age for about 14 years.
Yep. I know. But like, I know the fact I'm just acting like I've just became an adult last night. No, they can't. But honestly, I do wonder about it, because, and it must be interesting when you become single, you know, even further down the line, and at your 40s and your 50s, that's kind of a given. You would maybe be a bit like, shocked if you met someone and they didn't have their own family or their own connections like that. Not that that's wrong, but I just think it's interesting having to take on that responsibility, because I don't know if I would, I think I would.
I think you really could and be good at that.
Thank you. I think I would, but I think it would still be an adjustment.
No, I obviously, depending on circumstances, if that was what was happening, I'm sure I would.
Yeah, you adjust.
But I would be like, can they not be here?
I think at the start I would be like,
we get them their own flat.
Yeah, I would respect it if I wasn't obviously immediately brought into that, because I think that that's dangerous territory at the start of a new relationship, to be introducing and muddling things up and muddying the waters and stuff. But I think I would do it, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to really like love the child so much and then feel a bit like, I wish I was its mum and I'm not. But that doesn't matter, does it? What's blood? Nothing.
But also, if we stopped living together while Dorinda was still alive,
I know.
What on earth would be? What situation would be?
But I
didn't even think of that once.
But I think that just goes to show you that the universe will move the parts around that need to be moved, even if it's uncomfortable and unpleasant. Because that was not pleasant for us when that happened with Dorinda, but the parts were moving in place because of what was going to happen anyway. You know what I mean? So I do think that you'll make it work, because the tools will be given to you and the circumstances will provide themselves. Do you know what I mean?
And I'm going to try and do it again with what that man said that's not Jacob Elordi, but he's Noah something.
Centino.
Yes.
Who's that?
You know who he is. He's from the Kissing Booth or something. I don't know.
I only know his name.
But he won, you must have seen when he won that award, and he went, things are about not what you do with what you have, but what you do with what's happened to you with what you've been given to you.
That's literally what I just said.
That's literally every time I speak. Would you like to make a speech one day?
Yeah, I would.
In an awards capacity?
I would like to do it in an awards capacity. I'm going to do a speech at Molly's wedding.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if I want to call... No,
you're going to go, hi.
I don't know if I want to call it well, no, it is a speech, but it's a dual speech. It's not just me by myself. So it'll be a...
Helen Davis. Not Helen Davis, sorry.
Lisa Mara.
No, I meant the bridesmaid scene with Helen and
Oh,
Kristen Wiig,
right, got you,
where
got you,
she's
got you.
Helen speaking Spanish, and then Helen comes in with her own mic.
Yeah, me and Lisa are going to reenact
Yeah.
that. That would actually be really
That
funny.
would be good.
So I'm excited to do that, but I think that that'll obviously be more of a kind of reading of our own words and a bit more emotive.
We have a scroll.
I don't know. I need to think about the setup for it, but I do think I would like to do more speeches. But you know that I'm interested in becoming a celebrant.
Oh yeah.
So that would be my opportunity
Have
to
you
really
spoke about
flex
this
that
in the
muscle.
pod?
I don't think I have divulged that actually.
I think
I'm scared to get the evil eye on me and then it won't come true.
No, I'm taking action on your behalf.
Are you?
Because I'm going to say, if any of you Who Agrees listeners are getting married, I think it's time for Kendra to be your celebrant.
Oh my God.
Kendra is.
I would love to.
It's a great
I feel
job
like I
for
need
you.
training.
Yeah, but you just do your wee course.
Yeah, there are courses. I've looked
Do them
into
online.
it and I've spoken to a few people that have connections with celebrants. And I spoke to one of our friends, Molly, actually. Her dad knows someone that's a celebrant and he has actually quite a similar career in terms of other jobs he does.
There's a gap in the market for good-looking young celebrants that are women.
I think that's going to have to be my USP, isn't it?
Well, you
If
better
want
get
a
on it before you're not
big-titted
young anymore.
Celebrant, I know.
Bigtittedcelebrants.org.
Big titted celebrants near you. That's going to be my
My
website.
husband is dead.
But I feel like I could really channel my energy into speeching and preaching. Like what I do here, but it would, you know what it would do, right? Here I get to talk my head off. And I love that. And that tickles my funny bone and the funny bone of others.
Yeah.
But you know that I have a real interest and passion for romance and love and people's relationships and spirituality and talking, right? And I feel like
love is love.
that would satisfy that, you know.
This big titted celebrant still makes Coke the old fashioned way.
You missed earlier. I said to Lorenzo earlier, what was I talking about?
How the hell did I miss that?
No, you weren't here.
We need to be more viral. We need to do more.
Oh yeah, I said we need to be more viral on Who Agrees, so we need to just start saying this podcast studio does Coke the old-fashioned way.
Oh, that's good.
But listen, what's that? Right, can we come up with a non-crass version of that?
What?
Well-endowed celebrant.
Well-endowed?
No, what do you call it? What's a good...
No, I would say like...
No, but I mean, I need it for the episode title.
Vivacious.
Vivacious.
Celebrant.
Bodacious.
Vivacious celebrant near you.
.org.
Okay.
Episode title.
Yep, that's me.
Please do it.
I've put it on my aspirations list.
When you get your first gay wedding, obviously, like that might take a bit of convincing for you to do it. And then when you finally agree and you go, fuck's sake, I need the money. And then you get there, then you can start and you go, I don't know what to say because like all your pre-written things are like for men and women. And then you go, I don't know what to do. So you go, fuck it. And you just put your little book away and you just go, and I can't change even if I tried, even if I wanted to.
And then about 2 seconds, they're just my notes for real weddings.
Why has there not been a film called The Celebrant? There definitely
there
will
must
be.
have been, surely.
Jennifer Lopez type film.
Yes, the wedding planner
Aye,
you're
that's what I'm
thinking
thinking
of,
of
yeah.
course.
But The Celebrant is a bit more
Adam
of a modern
Sandler.
twist.
That could happen.
I
the
feel like
film
that
world.
must be a film, surely.
Well, I've been watching films boots non-stop. Like, I've been really getting back into I think to myself, I should watch a film every day. Every day. Because, and if you could say, well, you don't get time to do that. Yes, you do.
The amount of time you spend on your fucking phone, you do have time to watch a film.
Even fit a 90-minute. And even if that, watch a TV show. If you can't, me acting like that's something to be applauded. Watch a TV show every day. But no, watch a film. I need to watch at least 3 films a week. Like that, because then I have my never-ending watch list of things, and I don't mean shite. I mean, not even shite. What does shite mean truly in this context? But, you know, there's things I've always wanted to see, or loads of films by certain directors I want to watch and never got around to. I've got a never-ending watch list, so I'm going to start it. So that's what I've been thinking lately, because the last time I did that was lockdown. Our first lockdown, I was just, when Mubi used to have film of the day, I would just watch it every day, no matter what it was, no matter if I had heard of it. Like, and I enjoyed doing that. Anyway, so I've been watching, I'm going to cinema a lot. I went to see that Begonia film.
Oh, I'm
I
going to
really
go this
liked
week.
it, but I'll talk about it after you've seen it.
Yeah,
but I'm
we can
interested what you
debrief.
feel. Didn't enjoy Frankenstein. Not for me.
Well, I actually think that I might watch that tonight because it's
It's on
Netflix
Netflix
release
now.
tonight. Yeah, that is what I'm going to
But
watch
I'll
tonight,
say-
and I'll feed back to you.
I'll say to the audience what I said to you. I think I'm just at my capacity for CGI Gothic sets,
Is it
particularly
all
circular
CGI?
windows. A lot of it.
Is it all kind of black and
It
white?
all looks to me like there's loads of big circle windows and towers, like Wicked, like Poor Things. Also, I know this is also just what it looked like back then, but like the university bit where they're like teaching looks the same in Wicked, Poor Things, and Poor Things is this has what do you call him, Christoph Waltz in it, right? And then in my head I was like, was Christoph Waltz in Poor Things? No.
No, are you
No.
thinking of Willem Dafoe?
But Willem Dafoe was
Yeah.
so I was thinking, I was actually convinced that they're the same character. It's so the same vibe.
Inspired.
It's so the same vibe. But anyway, I just thought maybe I was a bit tired of
Maybe
that.
you're a bit genre fatigued.
I'm genre
with that
fatigued,
at the moment.
thank
Maybe you need a palate cleanser.
I do, and I just like, I always know my things are things that have a different, no, I wouldn't say more emotional depth, a different type of emotional journeys I like.
Yeah, I'm
You
the
know,
same. Like
I
all
do
the
like
films
that.
that I really, really, really connect with are ones that make me cry.
Yeah.
And the things that make me cry are like,
Or think about life in a different perspective.
but it's hard,
as well.
isn't it? Because it's like obviously any film is making you think about life.
Aye.
But I know what you mean. I think that we are more. But then all those films that you just listed there are all about interpersonal relationships or dynamics.
Aye,
and stuff.
they always
But I know
are.
what you mean. Maybe it's just a genre thing.
Aye. But I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong. Beautiful gowns.
Yeah, I'm excited to see
Mia
it.
Goff's beautifulgowns.com.
Yeah, she is so beautiful. .org.
She is.
Yeah, she's
costume
beautiful.
design
.net.
Oscar out the waz.
Yeah.
And it's very impressive and all that. But I just don't.
What voice she be speaking in?
Posh English, not baby voice.
Not
but
baby
posh
voice.
English. Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. They're all posh English.
Right, got ya.
Even though Oscar Isaac's American and Jacob Elordi's
And we
Australian.
climbing Jacob Elordi like a motherfucking tree.
No,
Not even in the
no, babe.
prosthetics.
No way.
So give it a go, like.
No, you'll have a look, right? And do you know what's funny? Because he's
Of course we'll have a look.
We'll have a look. Of course you like. See, I think Oscar Isaac must be pretty short, right? Because I don't even think they've made Jacob Elordi taller.
No, but Jacob Elordi's like 6'7".
Aye, so I think this is why it works. Because next to Oscar Isaac, he does look like a monster.
Yeah.
Like because he's
Like,
so much
go
taller
and
than him.
actually get me his height.
I think he's 6'7". 6'7".
Oscar Isaac is 5'8".
So
Yeah,
right, okay.
normal height, not tall at all, not small at
Not
all.
miniature or anything.
So normal man
Jacob
height.
Elordi is 6'5".
Aye, so it kind of works.
Sorry
that
to say,
dynamic.
but
Well, he's not hot in this because do you know what? I'm going to be honest. I think I would respect him more. You know when you get these things where they make versions of things that go, well, it can't look ridiculous. It almost has to look like, what would this be like if it really happened? Like, so they're more human than they are monster.
yeah, because
in
you
a
don't
way.
want it to be like Greenwood
I did
bolts
though.
hanging out its
I thi-
head.
So it's that vibe, but it's like contemporary, but
Right,
it's not
got
contemporary
ya.
at
So
all.
can you see glints of Jacob Elordi?
Yes, eyes.
Eyes, okay, yeah. I think that's
pretty
some of the
much it.
stills I've
But you know what
seen
it
from
bothers me is because he's not spoiling anything, but there's a time when his hair gets really long when he's just out and about living as the monster,
it. Uh-huh.
and I just don't like it. He looks like
Fabio.
do you know what he looks like? You know the one that's not Legolas but is brunette but is like friends with Legolas, maybe his dad or friend.
Not Aragorn.
No, the
Aragorn.
elf. No, not Aragorn.
Oh, the main elf.
The other
hell's
elf,
his
who's
name?
like slightly older than
The main
Orlando
elf
Bloom,
in
but
charge.
he's the brunette one.
Got ya.
The brunette elf, not Aragorn. I know Aragorn, and certainly not Gimli.
Elrond.
Aye, that one.
Elrond.
I'm looking forward. So I'm going to watch this tonight and I'll feed back to you.
There was bits that I liked. Don't get me wrong.
How's the score?
Yeah, good.
Nice. Adds to it.
Oh, violence.
So what did you like the best about it and what did you
Beautiful
like the worst
gowns.
about it?
Worst about it, I just didn't care.
Okay, so you didn't feel invested.
I didn't feel an emotional investment in the beast.
Okay.
It reminded me. Well, have you seen Guillermo del Toro's other film with Sally Hawkins being in love with a fish?
Nah. Oh, The Shape of Water.
Shape of Water.
So yes, I have seen that, and
It did remind me of that. There's something about
I
being in love
didn't-
with a beast.
I don't know if I watched that at the wrong time in my life, or I was distracted, or I was watching it on the wrong medium. I think I might have been watching it on a laptop, which I think for a seminal film and not a passive watch isn't the best medium.
It's definitely like a film that I could totally understand you feeling that way, because I think I enjoyed it, and I still felt like it was a bit when it was getting every award on the sun. I was like, right now, are we all pretending something here? Like, no, that vibe you get sometimes. I mean, it was amazing, but with Shape of Water. But have you seen Pani Labby?
What? Pan's Labyrinth? No.
I think that's
sometimes I see a wee bit of it and I go, ah!
He
and
needs
then
to
don't
go back
watch
to
it.
that, I think.
To Panny's
It's
Lab.
filmed in Scotland, lots of it.
Oh, really? What? Frank? Oh, because
Aberdeen.
Frank and Winnie wasn't it in Edinburgh?
Aye, they talk about Edinburgh a lot in it.
Oh, actual?
Aye, they say we're in Edinburgh, you're in Edinburgh. I don't know where
They
this.
talk about Edinburgh a lot, they say. We're in Edinburgh.
Yeah, or I'll write to you in Edinburgh. I'll send a carriage to
nice.
Edinburgh. I'm working in Edinburgh.
Send a carriage to Edinburgh right now.
There is the nice sending a carriage and all that.
Of course.
The way I do like that. And
that's
Mia
what I
Goff has
love,
this
all
beautiful
that.
feather thing in her head at one point. It just looks so good.
It was very glam then in those spaces.
I don't know if it's... Do you know what? It's good. I think it's good.
It's tough, but it's good.
Now that I've spoke about it.
Well, you know what,
I don't know, I just thought...
Normalise like reflecting and changing your opinion on films and media in general, because your first impression of anything on earth does not necessarily have to be your final one. Like,
no,
there's
it's
been
the
loads
same
of
with
times.
everything, like albums, like you need to sit with it. But I think
Growers.
for that, it's not my typical thing I'd go and see, and it's quite epic.
Right, got
Right,
you.
and it's got that. I just kept thinking the Prince Caspian of it all.
I wish that I'd seen it so I could give you my proper, full informed opinion back, but I'll need to just sit down with it
Kind
tonight.
of Pirates of the Caribbean vibes. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
Like, no, but it's got like it's
Do you mean because
fantasy.
it's costume heavy?
It's fantasy and CGI costume heavy.
Okay, yeah.
And that typically doesn't do it for me. And I'll tell you this: I didn't care about the monster.
Right, got you.
Didn't care.
Okay.
I didn't care about Oscar Isaac's descent into madness. I didn't care.
Okay.
Right. Anyway.
And there lies the problem, because you're
There lies
supposed
the
to
problem.
care.
I'm
So
supposed to
you've
care.
got to the core of the
But
issue.
had Oscar Isaac been a woman,
Yeah.
and Frankenstein been the bride of Frankenstein, Frankenstein, I think I would have cared if Mia Goff became the bride of Frankenstein.
Right, okay.
Women's stories, they just matter. That's what I think.
I'll need to sit with this and think it through.
Yeah.
Once I've
But anyway,
watched.
Begonia, I'll wait till you've seen it. So that is us for this week.
And big thanks to our sponsor, as always, Iola. And thank you even more for our fresh specs, which are keeping things nice and autumnal around here. And I can tell you for one that I have a very, very appreciated addition to my autumn wardrobe.
Yep. Iola, no daft upsells, just good quality specs. Go and check them out. Having a few different pairs on rotation does make a difference when you're choosing which specs to wear every day. And I love it.
On these dark mornings.
And these dark
we love
winter
it.
mornings, we love it.
We can see clearly on these dark mornings.
Now the rain is gone.
Yeah. You've been listening to Who Agrees with me, Kendra McPherson.
And me, Paul Black.
And as always, please like, subscribe, follow us, subscribe to us on Patreon, where we're always over there having lots of fun and frolics non-stop.
Yep. Please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe to us on YouTube, TikTok, and all that and all the rest. Come see me on tour. Goodbye.
Bye.